This is the Tip Network, where we help you level up through self-improvement with a little sprinkle of sarcasm.
Yep.
The theme is, are there any young, good girls left? I'm here in these streets, I'm investigating, because according to the guys, there's no more good girls.
All right, let's get it.
Let's see. Oh, making a girl delete her social media, or not letting her use her social media, or opening her phone.
Okay, so I'm going to explain to you real quick, guys, how you do all of those. Because I'm not opposed to not wanting a female to have social media. And I'm not opposed to having the passcodes to the phone and all this type of things. But it's the subtlety and the way in which you do it. You don't tell her she can't have social media. You tell her, if you want a committed relationship with me, I'm not comfortable with you having social media. So you're going to have to put that on pause. You're going to have to deactivate that if you want this level of commitment from me. If not, that's cool. We can just keep it casual or nothing at all.
I say that
what do you think was her response to him saying delete the social media?
Well, she was like, at first when he said it, she looked like, oh, great. But then, Ayindei, he kicked good game. It was good game because he said, look, I'm going to put it in her pocket. I'm going to let her choose. And if she chooses, basically, look, fellas, the lady does choose you for a relationship and sex, right? Like Kevin Samuel said. So the relationship, I could say, hey, I want to be with you, but you have to say, I want to be with you also. And sex, she has to give you that flower, right? And so, but this is also using that theory and saying, okay, she's in control of giving you your social media. I can say that in my relationship, one of the things that surprised me was that all the social media and everything was given to me just willingly. I didn't even ask for it, but it's like, no, you can have it because I'm not hiding anything.
So would you say, for you personally, would that matter to have that access? Would it affect how you pursue the relationship that you're currently having if she was so guarded with her social media?
Yeah, it would affect the level of my commitment.
Okay.
Because
so he's putting not only men on game, but he's also putting her on
game. Because listen, when it comes down to it, we all know that the greatest applications for dating in this country isn't Tinder. It's Instagram and Facebook. That's what everybody's DMing people are trying to talk to them. And so when I look at this and say, hey, all right, so look, I'm not trying to go and control your social media. But, just the fact that it was offered to me was like, oh, cool. Mm-hmm. It was really cool. And it wasn't a situation where it wasn't an argument or anything like that. And, okay, if you want it, it was just like, look, if you want to see it, here it is. When things are voluntarily given to you like that, it lets you know that that person's serious. And it also upped my game that I had to be really serious.
Mm-hmm. Right? Now, these guys, if you had to put a number on what they're bringing in annually, what would you estimate your last boyfriend was making annually?
It's a good question. What would I estimate? It's a tough one.
No, it's not. The fact that she doesn't even know means it's not that big of an issue. Okay?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's the last thing I take into consideration when I'm trying to date somebody.
Right. So there goes the excuse of the money. There goes the excuse of the age, right? What type of car? What year was the car that he drove? Or how many years old was the car that he drove?
I don't think I've dated somebody who drives a car past 2010? Newer than 2010?
Okay, so cars 10 years old. I don't want to hear any excuses. Don't put no excuses in my comments. All right? All I want to hear is ambition, positivity, motivation. That's what I want to hear because these women are out here. These girls are out here. So,
yeah, if anything, a nice car and a lot of money attracts bad girls, not good girls.
Okay, let's talk about height because you're shorter than a motherfucker. You're 5 nothing, right?
That's like 5'3".
Okay, she's 5'3". How tall was your last boyfriend?
My last one? Probably 5'7".
Jesus
Shortest one, probably 5'3".
Jesus Christ. The height thing isn't an issue either.
So men should not be given no excuses because there's actually more girls like her that are out there in the real world. Yes, for granted, she's a bit younger, so once she gets older, her priorities will start to change as she gets older. Exactly. But the thing is, young guys, and I like how Ayindei, he's really targeting the young dudes, but even your older dudes, let's not get into our confirmation bias type thinking and think there's only one type of woman out there. There's many types of women, but that also depends on, once again, I'm taking Kevin Samuel's playbook, DIME, discipline, integrity, morals, and ethics. To become a high value man, Actually, let's throw out the high value man. Being disciplined to build out your dream, your purpose, building out your business, building out your career, and making a living wage that is supplements and complements that is supports your coming family.
Something that I find really interesting is that Ayindei, just the whole time that he's speaking to her, he's telling people to let it be their choice. And also, like, one thing is that he's not asking her, what kind of man do you want?
You see, this is the problem. You guys worry too much about what women say they like and what women say they want and all of that. When you ask women that, you're going to get a combination of, like, what they would like to have and what their fantasy is.
Because when you ask that, it's a fantasy. If somebody asks me, what do I want? What do you want, Grover? And I'm like, well, I don't know, I guess, because you start thinking of these great, rainbows and unicorns, right?
And this is why I said that in the beginning of the video. Because if you give me my option of what my ideal woman is, I mean, I'm gonna think it's like a player creator in a game. I'm gonna try to create the best kind of woman in my mind.
Yeah, and so it's like, well, how many options do I have, right? But like, but what he asked her was, who were you with before?
And I think that's more accurate information than asking a girl, hey, so how tall does a guy have to be your boyfriend, or like, what do you like, or what did what height do you prefer? Like, those are all stupid questions. Because that's like asking a guy, so like, what kind of woman do you want? That ain't the type of woman he had or he got, right? Yeah. So I'd rather be like, let's talk about your last girlfriend, because that's what you were able to get. That's what you were able to acquire. And for a female, her last guy is what she settled for. Damn sure isn't Mr. Perfect, you know what I'm saying? But it was what she was okay with, right? So we got to be realistic here as well as being positive, right, when it comes to that.
Because what it says is like, who will they go with, right? And so a lot of times, I mean, a lot of this other content we're watching and a lot of stuff, reading, like you could read Tinder accounts, you could read a lot of stuff that could kind of put you in an echo chamber and make you upset. But honestly, I really like this this content right here is hitting it out the park.
Extremely
because
valuable.
I mean, you have all the bases covered. You have two attractive ladies, right? You have really good questions. You have a good discourse back and forth. Nobody's talking over each other. People genuinely interested in listening.
So no throwing talking points.
No, just interested in them talking to each other and figuring out what's going on. This is probably the best video I've seen this man make, and I've watched a lot of his content. It's the best video I've seen him make because it's authentic, and man, if this is the direction that he's going in the new year, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. I mean, I know he's smart. Like we know he's a smart guy, but this is actualization of the intelligence, right?
Exactly, and it serves as a hopeful reminder to all the young guys out there and to all the guys that are older that there are women out there that are like that. Yeah. They're going to be attractive. They're going to be beautiful. They're going to be feminine. They might not be cooperative all the time, but hey, this is why we're attracted to them, because a little bit crazy. Well, that's maybe me, my issue.
That's you.
But
my lady's cooperative, dude. My lady's actually really sweet.
I don't even have a lady, but
like my lady's super cooperative.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like it's showing another side of the female nature, of real femininity. Yeah. And there is hope out there.
So just I know you. Do we have another time?
We got one more.
Okay, but just before we hit it, these ladies said, are they feminine?
They're very feminine.
Yeah. Would you be inspired if you were with them?
I'd be inspired. Yes.
And are they beautiful?
I would say so.
So they're feminine, beautiful, and inspired.
Yes.
We got 2 FBIs here.
Oh, 2 FBIs. And you don't want the FBIs at your door.
You may want those FBI.
I want those kind of FBI, not the other kind of FBI at my door.
There we go.
I'm probably in my business. Anyway, so go to 2125.
2125. Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, real quick, FBI. Well, we want to be CIAs, right? So competent, intelligent, assertive. Yeah. So yes, we want the FBI, so we can be the CIA.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I just had to throw that stupid Kevin Samuels thing in.
Crazy. You don't plan on marrying yourself. You plan on marrying a human male. Then your peak attractiveness and desirability is going to be around 23 to 25. You could obviously push it, 26 or whatever. 27, you're tripping. And when I say that, keep in mind what I'm saying is I'm comparing you to you. I'm comparing 30-year-old you to 25-year-old you. Trust me, he prefers the 25-year-old you. He'll be married to you for 5 years. He'll still be with you at 30, of course. But he wants you, it's just like a car. I hate to compare women to cars. Don't get offended. Don't take it personal. But when it comes to cars, you want them when they first come out. You want them when they're brand new.
Yeah.
They're at their peak when they're about the year that it is. Because cars come out a year early. If you got that money, cars come out a year early. You get the 2022 and 2021. So around 2022, 2023, that car is in its prime. It's in its peak, right? After a couple of years go by, for all you know, the new model might be coming out. After there, it starts going into the used category.
It does.
Right? So you can have the so-and-so CLK, the blah, 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 GLE, Mercedes-Benz. But if it's 5-6 years old, it's not at its peak.
No, it's not.
So you got to keep that in the back of your mind when you're thinking about marriage and settling down. You kind of want to be building that relationship by the time you're 23, 24, because the guy that you're with around that time should be the guy you're giving yourself to, right? And then there's also the question of children. You're saying 27, 28, 29, 30 getting married. Well, when are you going to pop out the babies?
That's a little late.
What do you mean?
Probably 28, 29, somewhere in there.
That's not peak fertility.
No, it's
I'm not saying that's not a reasonable age to have children. I'm just saying it's not ideal.
True.
Again, 25, 26, around that age, that's ideal to be having your first child. And you want your body to bounce back. This is something women don't take into consideration. Like, they don't want to have children because children might ruin their body, but then they're going to want children at some point, and the children are less likely to ruin your body the earlier you have them. So it's like, either you're going to have the kids or you're not, because if you're not, then don't worry about it. But if you are, it needs to be earlier, because if it's later, you're going to your body up, and then you're going to be upset, and your value is going to be lower. And if you aren't already married, now you're less appealing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now guys that proposed to you in the past aren't even going to respond to your DM. They're not even going to respond to your Facebook message. They're going to be like, fuck this bitch. She didn't want me 3 years ago. Now I got something.
You didn't say hard, dude. Hey. My man is from New York.
You see him happily.
I would say Brooklyn,
He was throwing it like he was making it like really nice and soft, explaining it to her in an easy, smooth fashion. Like I was like, all right, he's taking account of her feelings, but then he just throws a freaking slider right there.
He was like, just not.
But then it's like, yeah. It just comes out of nowhere.
But one thing that he did was I really like. He described the wall. Mm-hmm. He described the wall to her. And he described the wall to her in a way she understands. And he described the wall to her saying, like, hey, listen, it's not the fact that you're not a better person. He didn't say nothing about her being a good person or a bad person. What he said is like this, look, peak, like having a baby too late, this is what's going to happen. So if you're not going to have a baby, if you're going to have a baby early. Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, it's just easier to recover from health-wise. But, I mean, it doesn't mean, like, I'm just of the opinion that people should have their babies and do whatever they want with their bodies. Mm-hmm. However, like with everything, there's a consequence. Don't just be there and be mad at your child, because I've seen women actually mad at their child, like, I had my baby and I just can't get back together. It's horrible. It's like, well, come on. You had a kid. If you have a kid late in life, that would probably happen. It's just like a guy. It's just the same as a guy being upset because he's had 3 kids by 3 different women, and he's upset because he's broke. Whew. It's the consequence of having 3 kids for 3 different women. The consequence of having that baby at a later age is that your body's not going to snap back as well as it could have before. Mm-hmm. And just like the consequence of getting old is just dropping remote controls flawlessly. Thanks for the assist.
Mm-hmm. So all I got to say about that, me being a woman's advocate. All right.
Are you a feminist?
I'm a third wave. No. I'm a traditional feminist.
Are you a 72nd?
I'm a Dave Chappelle type of feminist.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, he says he's a feminist.
Man,
on a stand-up show. That's special.
Our comment
section
about to be on fire.
Stormy and stuff. Anyway, so what I'm going to be saying is, from an analytical perspective, if you think about the science that goes into biology of having children, what you say is true. Now, are there going to be advances in medicine that help women, like freezing their eggs, and help them rebound by having plastic surgery or whatever? Yeah, that's going to happen too. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to say it's that women have to make the decision right away and have kids at 24, 25, 26. Coming from a heartfelt white pill perspective is that you'll have children when it's time. And in fact, I'd rather have you have children when it's time to have them, when it's appropriate. Meaning that you have a stable partner, husband, and that the guys have a stable wife, and that you guys are both spiritually symbiotically working together to raise a child and make sure that child doesn't become a screw up or is becoming a detriment onto the system that we live in.
Okay.
So anyway, that's all I gotta say, because if we're all out here rushing into getting babies right away and we're not prepared for it,
I just say, well, I mean, there's a thing. Yeah, well, there's different.
You're messing with kids, dude. Like,
but there's different dynamics, right?
Yeah.
So, like, saying that she's like 23-year-olds is peak time to have a baby, but also, like, I mean, traditionally, women, like, only now, like, women are, like, in the last 6 years, women are really marrying men who are their age group and their peer group, but usually like women would marry older men because an older man is established. He's went through his life, maybe he went to college and he's worked really hard. Now he's having the money. Then he turns around and says, okay, I want someone to have my child. And it was more of a business decision. Now it's more of a love decision. So, I mean, I can see how this happens. I think that people should have kids when they want to have kids, but just understand the consequences of having kids.
yes.
I mean, and it's just that simple. It's just like,
So there's not going to be a whole bunch of sunshine and rainbows.
no. I mean, hey,
You have to weather through some storms to get to the sunshine and rainbows.
I know women that had kids really late in their life, like their 40s. They love their children. They're doing a good job, and they exercise their tails off. But they'll tell you, it's just not stepping back like it used to, and it's just to be expected.
This is why I wanted something like that coming from you. I think that's a very important thing for us to say. Yes, we know biologically it's much better for women to have at a younger age. But also, it's so situational, and it's dependent on that person's life circumstances.
Depending on your life circumstances.
Because I'm about a self-actualized society, meaning that everyone is reaching to their fullest potential that they can, because I believe that strengthens society and helps us evolve as a human race. And this is like my core beliefs. And there's a reason why I'm saying this. Does it sound corny? Yeah, probably. But hey, I was a sociology major, and that's what I believe in.
Yeah, I was a business major. I believe in making that money.
I didn't finish college though, so just let me throw that in there.
But I mean, like, you know, I think it's just obvious. It's obvious to say that we should say, you know, that like people should do what they want to do with their bodies when they want to do it, when it's best for them. But like with everything, it's just like anything you do.
There might be repercussions and ramifications.
There we go. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Hit the notification bell. Share it. Get the word out.
And also leave some comments down below. And
We have consolidated
all
of our social medias
with the same name handle.
The TIP Network, THPP Network.
One word. Yes, there is an innuendo. Just a tip.
Yeah, just a tip. You know, all in. You can follow me on the gram at I am Gorilla1. You can follow this guy at
Scott.Tieee.
We will be back at it like a crack addict. Boom. Booty in your face.